Hey guys, this is an advanced power leveling guide for players with 3 characters. This is the alternative to my single character for dummies video. You can watch that instead for a basic understanding of power leveling, but in this video we need a full understanding. Believe me when I say there are a lot of tricks in power leveling. First up, artifact power is a lie. It doesn't help you level up faster. It's not used in calculating your powerful drops. It goes away each season. Yes, it does help you in high level activities, but it's entirely dependent on how many bounties and activities you complete, so that's mostly a side project while actually power leveling. Artifact power does not apply in Trials, Iron Banner, or Day 1 raids. Artifacts are not a main focus for this video or power leveling. Real power level is called base power level. This is your highest current power without your artifact, BPL for short. Every drop in the game revolves around slowly raising your BPL. Doing it effectively. Only whole numbers matter. If you're at 1140 when you get a plus 3 drop, you get an 1143 gear piece. If you're 1141 and get a plus 3 drop, you get an 1144 gear piece. Your BPL is the starting point for your drop. BPL considers all gear that you have on your character, in your vault, and your postmaster without having it equipped, so you don't need to have your best items with you while power leveling. Owning it is enough. Don't dismantle anything until you have something higher in that slot. BPL is calculated by adding all of your best weapons and armor you can equip into a huge number and then dividing that by 8. It is your average power. That means it takes an increase of 8 power to raise your BPL. Originally, power was calculated by your highest equipable gear, however it looks like that has changed. If you have multiple exotics as your highest gear, it should still count them all towards your BPL, even though you can't actually equip them. Obviously it's safer if you don't do this, so if your BPL is not adding up, double check that multiple exotics is not the issue. But after infusing all of my highest weapons into exotics in all slots, I did not see a drop in BPL. There are 3 good ways to check your base power level. Hover over your season pass gear, it will all drop at your BPL. So whatever that number is, that's your current BPL. You can also check Destiny Item Manager and it will show you each character's BPL, but it's slower to update due to how often Bungie is allowed to send you information. It also shows you your highest gear in each slot. My favorite is JP Wilson Design's Power Calculator. This allows you to manually keep track of your power on each character. It also tells you how many power you need to make it to the next base power level. This is very important knowledge. Links in description. Now step 2 is knowing how leveling works. You want to get 1 or 2 powerful rewards and then blue farm to level it out. Blue farming is a strategy to describe using non-powerful gear as a means to reach your next BPL. This is mandatory to power level efficiently in Destiny. It makes all of the difference. Rare, also known as blue gear, can drop around -3 to +0 from your BPL. If you're at 1240 BPL, your world drops can be 1237 or they could even drop at 1240. A 1237 would be a -3 drop, a 1240 would be a +0. Anything you do can potentially level you up, whether it's lost sectors or PvP matches. Even getting slight gear upgrades in your worst slots can power you up. The takeaway is, any gear piece can help you. +0 is the best you can get without a powerful drop. +0 drops can help you power level. Say you are 1249 and 7/8 power level. Getting 1 extra power on any gear will up your BPL. You don't need a powerful drop, you need to blue farm. Get a higher drop on your lowest slot. Now you are 1 BPL higher and you didn't waste a powerful drop. The next powerful drop will be 1 higher because of it. Doing this repeatedly will get you tons of extra levels over time. The downside to this method is that it does take more time, but there are ways to make that faster. So let's do a follow-up so far since you're probably lost. BPL is your power level without the artifact. Artifact power doesn't help you power level. You don't need powerful drops to raise your BPL. Every individual power level matters. Use a BPL calculator to keep track of your BPL for a visual aid. then blue farm whenever possible. It makes sense, but do you grasp it? Let's look at this example. You have higher weapons and lower armor. You need 1 power to make it to the next BPL. If you're at 1240 BPL, your blue farming drops can be 1240. Looking at the example, you can get a higher class item or chest piece. If you get a powerful drop, it'll be 1243 right now. Blue farm and get a 1240 chest instead. Now your next powerful drop will be 1244 instead of 1243. Every point matters. You're now 3 points closer to your next level instead of 2 points on your next drop. Looking at it again, if you raise all of your lowest pieces to 1241 through blue farming, will you reach the next power level? It takes 8 points to reach the next power level, and if you have all 1241s, you still need 3 points. So that means you should not blue farm because it will not help you raise a full whole BPL. Get a powerful reward instead. After you get that reward, see if blue farming can help. If not, grind another powerful. That is the basis of efficient power leveling, and even leveling quicker than just farming powerful drops alone. Stretching out the usefulness of powerful drops is how you hit max level in 2 weeks instead of 1 month. Now you can stop here with this knowledge and be as high as possible with running one character in a given week. If you continue, be prepared to watch this more than once to understand everything. If you haven't understood everything so far, you might just want to watch my previous video instead. There are 3 kinds of caps in power leveling. There is a soft cap. At this point, any gear you get will be stronger than the last. This goes up to 1200. Doing anything in the game will get you to 1200 power. Then you hit the medium cap. To get to 1250, you will only progress with powerful reward sources. After that is the pinnacle cap. This is 1260. Only pinnacle rewards will help you progress after 1250. Then you have uncapped power with your artifact. As you gather XP, your power bonus will go on forever. This is added to your Guardian's power, but does not affect your BPL. What types of powerful rewards are there? The lowest is clan Engrams, and a measly 1 more than your base power level. Tier 1 drops are a +3, Prime and Exotic Engrams are a +3, Tier 2s are a +4, Tier 3s are a +5, Pinnacles are a +5 as well, but will go over the medium power cap. Currently that's 1250. Pinnacles turn into a +2 when your BPL is at 1250. Powerfuls turn into a +0 at 1250, meaning powerfuls aren't very useful in the endgame. There's also a newer type of reward called weak pinnacles. These are currently from Playlist PvP, Heroic Strikes, Clan XP, and Gambit. They are not visually labeled different from regular pinnacles, but they are actually like Tier 2 drops. They drop +4 while under the medium cap and +1 while you're over 1250. Hawthorne is still labeled as a Tier 2 reward, but is actually a weak pinnacle, so watch out for deceptive labels. Also note that if you receive powerfuls while under the soft cap, each teardrop will be about twice as high, making soft cap leveling slightly easier, but it will be harder later in the week if you use them up early. The order that you receive these rewards can make a difference, but this is mostly related to what random drops you get. Every power leveling adventure will be different. It's best to power level solo because the drops that are in your friend's best interests are not going to be in your favor. Let's talk about before season preparations. Before a season starts, you can do several things to help you out on the new upcoming season. The best thing is to clear out vault space. Also vault most of your inventory so you can pick up new stuff. If you don't have 100 open slots at the start of a season, power leveling will be a chore. Due to Transmog and Legacy mod slots, you can clear out tons of space right now. Transmog will be collections based for eligible items, essentially turning armor into universal ornaments. That means you do not need to hold on to every season's gear for the looks. However, Transmog will not include all armor looks. So if there is a look that you really love, don't trust that it will be part of Transmog in like a year from now. Keep it. With Legacy mod slots, any armor that you currently own will all have the same mods available. Every seasonal and activity mod will be available on every armor you own. That means you should keep armor with good stat rolls only. You can dismantle the rest. Keep one set of each elemental affinity for access to all mods at any time. That is one solar set, one arc, one void. And probably your Solstice of Heroes set as well. Don't trust that it will be in Transmog. Clear out your Engram slots. There is no reason to have any at the beginning of the season. Since you will be running a lot of content, fill up on raid banners. Buy mod components from A1. She likely disappears on November 10th, and we don't know if this feature will come back. I recommend having at least 80 before Beyond Light starts. Also look over the official disappearing items list and the disappearing triumphs list for anything relevant to you. Make sure to claim and equip any titles you have unlocked so that they don't disappear on you. I would keep your Emperor Callus tokens since they are not on the list, but maybe that is just an oversight from Bungie. Prepare weapon quests. Exotic and ritual weapons that you pick up from vendors on the last step can be left in the vendors forever. Sometimes that weapon will be a +0 drop. This is usually for newer weapons though. Easy blue farming for specific slots. Completing quests but not picking up the reward immediately is a trick that provides just the smallest of advantages. All current pinnacle and ritual weapon quests are being deleted on November 10th, so finish them and pick them up today. Any disappearing exotics and pinnacles will be available through high currency prices as well as exotic ciphers, ascendant shards, or spoils of conquest. Hoarding completed bounties. Bounties are a great source of XP. Weeklies are worth the most, and dailies are worth more XP than repeatable bounties. Some bounties are being removed on November 10th though, so I would not keep Gambit Prime, Holiday, Seasonal, 801, or any bounties that require planets that are being removed. That means some Gunsmith bounties as well. Some regular Gambit bounties may also be removed. Since you don't need the rewards now, might as well risk getting nothing and keep what you got. Also watch out for weekly bounties. If you keep those, they may only drop half of the usual Bright Dust. This is due to the nerf on weekly bounty rewards on November 10th. Turn them in now for 200 dust, or wait and you will likely only receive 100 after launch. Worst case scenario would mean all of the weekly bounties would be deleted on November 10th. There's no way to know. Grinding bounties will level up your artifact. Artifact is bonus power tacked on at the end. It's not as important as base power level, but can prevent you from getting wrecked against higher power enemies. The first 10 power bonus is easy to get, the next 10 takes a lot more XP, making it a good way for short-term power-ups, but bad at long-term. It also goes away every season, making your effort worthless. Artifact power level is necessary for Grandmaster difficulty Nightfalls. Because quests share the same space as your bounties, you may need to dismantle some of your old DLC quests, especially on alternate characters. This will allow you to hold more completed bounties into the next season. Prepping vendor milestones. Banshee, Shack, Zavala, and the Drifter have milestones for turning in 8 bounties. Keep at least 8 of each of these bounty types on each character. When you start the season, you will already have 4 powerful engrams to pick up on each character because of this. To be safe, you should always play one PvP in Gambit match on your account before turning in any bounties for those activities. Playing a match updates your reputation rank so the bounties count for the new season instead of the previous season. This may only be a Gambit issue though. Note that you may lose a powerful drop on your first major rank up of your PvP or Gambit because you used bounties from the previous season. However, I believe that is only when you used an old bounty to surpass that reputation milestone. Turning them in at the beginning of the season after your first match should not affect your first powerful reward because major rank ups take a lot of reputation to reach. Also, Bungie announced that playlist activities should have an additional chance at powerfuls by just playing. A big trick is not to collect season pass engrams and armor from the previous season. All of the armor, weapons, and engrams are +0 drops. These are the most valuable in power leveling. You can literally choose the drops you want at a moment's notice to blue farm full power levels in seconds. This allows players to get a head start next season. That's because you can collect previous season rewards through Bungie's website. You can use last season's rewards by claiming them from your browser in the previous season section on the site. More on that in a video in the description. You can also pull these items through the Destiny 2 companion app by tapping on the season box. A good tip is to never collect the exotic engrams in a season pass. These engrams are guaranteed to drop new exotics. By using the previous season feature, we can pull those exotic engrams from last season's pass on the first day of the season, allowing us to start out with all of the new exotics. Make sure you select the character you want the exotic armor on before you pull the item, because you can only get armor for the class of Guardian that you chose. Other players can just hoard exotic engrams in your postmaster. Old exotic engrams can drop new exotics if they are not versioned, meaning Bungie can prevent them from dropping new exotics going into a new season. It just depends on if they want to do that. This usually works fine between minor seasons. The previous season pass exotic engrams have always dropped new exotics every season, bypassing that issue. Storing Glimmer. You can store Glimmer in your vault by buying expensive collections, exotic sparrows and ships, and then dismantling them when you want the Glimmer back. This uses a lot of vault space and wastes legendary shards. This allows you to pull Glimmer at a moment's notice whenever you need to buy more bounties. This is safer than going to the spider and finding out that you don't have the material he needs for Glimmer on that particular day. You will burn through a lot of Glimmer while XP farming, but I choose to hoard planetary materials instead of cosmetics. Hoard planetary materials. Holding 10,000 of each different material can save tons of time. In Beyond Light, they are removing Mercury, Mars, Io, and Titan, so simulation seeds, Seraphite, phase glass, and alkane dust are no longer being used, but they won't be deleted. You can turn these into the spider for a small amount of Glimmer after November 10th. Either way, materials help you buy upgrade modules and materials. Planetary materials might be an easy way to blue farm. Might. So let's look at why that is. Bungie stated that gear earned through token purchases will be 20 power below your BPL. However, planetary materials are not the same as tokens. They also stated, with several destinations going into the Destiny content vault, many of you have been wondering what is going to happen to the currencies found in the areas currently underneath the pyramids. The simple answer is that there are no changes to these currencies in Season of the Hunt, and you will be able to continue to spend them at vendors normally. Now, I'm no English major, but Cosmo screwed that up. Sounds like he means to say that this applies to currencies not going away, but instead says areas underneath the pyramids. So Dusklight and Data Lattice should be able to be spent normally at vendors, whatever that means. Normally would hint that they can still be used to get +0 drops. Planetary vendors in Destiny 2 may offer drops at your power level or below. Their drops power can fluctuate daily. You want to turn in materials when that vendor is offering +0 drops. That means when they drop at your current BPL. While it may be slow to spam packages until you get all the slots you need, it's the most accessible way to blue farm, requiring only planetary materials. The reason this is the most accessible is because you can go to the spider at the Tangled Shore daily. Whenever he is selling materials for legendary shards, buy at least 1,000 of them. 10,000 would prepare you for anything. But not everyone has that many legendary shards to spend. Note that you get a lot of your legendary shards back after you turn in packages with the material. Having all of these resources ensures that when a vendor drops +0, you can get as many drops as you need for blue farming on that day. How do you know if a vendor is at +0? You can compare his drop with your current BPL or go to vendor-engrams.xyz. This is a site that uses player voting to let other players know when a vendor is selling at your BPL. This lets you know where to go for your next blue farming session. And if you are lucky, Spider will be selling materials for that vendor on that day, allowing you to go back and forth until you are satisfied. This method works until you hit the medium cap of 1250 power. Depending on how this plays out, you can immediately jump to 1200 power. Vendors' power level rewards react differently based on what cap you are in. It's possible that Zavala and Shaxx can bring you to 1200, but not above it without completing any activities in the new season. It sounds like this so-called minus 20 cap was designed to stop that though, but planetary vendors could also react differently. If you're at 1050 power, turning in a package could drop 1053 rewards, and every 3 packages should get you 1 power higher rewards, allowing you to spam tons of packages non-stop until you reach 1200 power. Even if all drops end up being 20 power below, tokens and planetary materials can be used to power level alternate characters. After you have finished your first character's power leveling, the first thing you should do on your alternate character is spam packages. Because your weapons are so high, and you're under the soft cap, you can immediately make your alternate characters 1200 or even more power level. This will save you tons of time, so you should definitely stock up on tokens and materials. Last minute power leveling. Right before the start of the season, get as powerful as possible. The higher you start, the better off you are. You'll have more powerful rewards to spare on your characters in the long run. Since this is a major season, last minute power leveling will not help you, but this helps slightly in the smaller seasons. Another good trick is keeping Iron Banner bounties. Iron Banner bounties give pinnacle drops. Bounties from the previous season will be capped at the season that they come from. Keeping the bounties from Season of Arrivals means they will not drop above 1060, but that's not bad. At the end of the season, if I was 1055 BPL and I turned in those bounties, I would get 1057 weapons and armor. But by turning it in next season, they are guaranteed 1060 weapons. Having several of these will basically guarantee starting out with weapons for every slot at 5 power higher than your current power, instead of 2 power higher if I turned them in last season. If you did that for next season, they would drop weapons up to 1260, so keep the last Iron Banner bounties of the season if you are far away from the pinnacle cap. If you already hit the pinnacle cap, it just lets you get weapons early if they add new ones to the loot pool. This last Iron Banner, you did not have to do the quest to unlock armor in these bounties because they were reskins, so the loot pool of these bounties could vary by season. Store Clan Engrams. Hawthorne can hold this week's and last week's Clan Engrams. These are +1 drops. You should get all of the Clan Engrams from the previous week before a season changes and not collect those Engrams. Then use them mostly for help with blue farming on week 1 of the season. A +1 is the lowest powerful reward, so they aren't good for much, but you can use them on any character. Then focus on getting the current week's Clan Engrams for more rewards. Store Clan XP. Hawthorne's Clan XP can be brought over to the next season by hoarding Clan Bounties. Keep a few of these to turn in for instant completion of the Clan XP milestone. If you plan on power leveling, this probably is not necessary, since you will get the required XP from excessive playing. Store a flashpoint. You can do the flashpoint milestone for a week, but not collect it. This will be available for pickup the next week at the same vendor, allowing you to save time by having that already completed. You cannot get 2 powerful drops from flashpoints, so there's no point turning in a second one on the same character in the same week. With the disappearance of heroic adventures and planets, this may be changed slightly in Beyond Light. That's a lot of potential prep work that can save you tons of time and give you an edge on power leveling, as well as something to do when the season is dry. So we established blue farming is getting any non-powerful drops to raise your power level. While this can come from anywhere, there are better ways to blue farm. The easiest way is using Season Pass armor and weapons because you can choose the +0 drops you want, including taking them from last season's pass through the website for tons of loot at your disposal. If you're missing only one exotic, getting any exotic engram from your season pass will give you that specific slot. They act like faded engrams, allowing you to collect a specific slot when that slot is needed. When you start the season, there's a level 1 package with a full set of armor and an exotic weapon in your season's pass. You want to collect it on your main for the XP booster, but leave it on your alternate characters. Blue farm and reach the highest power you can after switching characters. After that, open the package for a full set of current power armor. This can help you minimize blue farming when starting an alternate character, ending with a full set of +0 BPL armor without touching powerfuls. Another good time you could use it is when you hit 1251 BPL. This should bring a few of your armor pieces up to 1251 in one go. For weapons, look at your season pass for this season and last season. Exotics and legendaries are available. If not, use completed ritual and exotic weapon quests if available. These are the ones you prepped in different vendors. These should be +0 drops, but might not be every day, so double check before you pick it up. If you don't have easy guaranteed sources, then use Devrim or Failsafe. That is if they still offer loot and Beyond Light. Turn in Engrams at those vendors when they offer +0 drops. The power rotates daily. This takes more time because you will randomly get stuff. Always check your blue drops from activities to see if they are higher than your current gear. This can save currency. These methods work until you hit the medium cap. Once you hit 1250, blues, vendor engrams, ritual weapons, and exotic quests will no longer be +0 drops, meaning you should technically use other methods before season pass gear for optimal power leveling. Season pass gear will always be at your BPL, making them more valuable in the end game pinnacle grind if you want to save time. Otherwise, you have to keep getting powerful drops since that is the only way to +0 blue farm over 1250 BPL. Let's talk about order of drops. What order should you do powerful gear? Most of the time it doesn't matter, but choose the tier drop that will get you to the next BPL. If you need 4 power for the next BPL, don't use a tier 1, go for a tier 2 or 3. If you're doing multiple characters and think you will hit the current medium cap of 1250 on each character, it's probably wise to leave any pinnacle drop activities until after you complete every other drop on every character. This will help you with the pinnacle grind. If you don't think that you'll hit 1250 on that character, I would treat pinnacles like tier 3 drops. So let's get back to our 8 categories. Blue farming +0, clan engrams +1, tier 1 +3, primes and exotic drops +3, tier 2 +4, tier 3 +5, weak pinnacle +4, pinnacle +5. Activities will say what tier drop they are most of the time. Raids have pinnacle drops for each encounter, but dungeons have tier 2 +4 drops for most encounters, while only the final encounter is a pinnacle. The goal is to have a really high drop and then blue farming, then little drops, then blue farming. Why though? You'll always have a lowest slot. Having one high drop can offset that, creating a good average power. Here is a visual representation. Say I have 15 tier 1, 8 tier 2, and 5 tier 3 drops. With perfect RNG, using all of the tier 1s, then tier 2s, and lastly tier 3s, brings me up to 23 overall power level. But using the same drops, but in a different order, brought me to 25 power level. And believe me, there are more powerful drops than this on each character. Not only that, throw in blue farming and it's twice as noticeable of a difference. This proves that the potential for one high and then low drops is greater than the weakest drops first strategy. Naturally, your RNG will be different. High drops can lead to wasted drops if you get a same slot. However, even with the weakest drops first strat, a duplicate slot is just as harmful to power leveling. As you do more characters, you will see the exponential difference of the strategy. You want to do a little math. If you think a higher drop will get you to the next BPL, by all means, do the tier 3 before you do 2 tier 1 drops. If all of your weapons and armor are within 3 or 4 of each other, do a tier 2 or 3 drop. Then use +0 blue farming to increase your BPL, if possible. If you're 1 power away, consider using a clan engram. Clan engrams are account-bound one-time uses, meaning you can use them once on any character. With one higher drop, do some tier 1s since there are many tier 1s to do. If you ever get a prime engram, turn it in immediately. If you're about to finish a powerful reward, and you think your prime can get you to the next BPL, consider backing out of what you are doing, within reason. Don't back out mid-raid encounter, but if it's a wipe or between encounters, you might convince them to take a 5-minute break to turn in a prime. Optimal versus time commitment. If you don't have all the time in the world, then just go to the tower afterward, but optimally, turn in prime engrams as soon as possible. Check your BPL calculator and blue farm if possible using the season pass, quests, or vendors, then repeat the loop. This means you might want to blue farm between raid or even dungeon encounters. To respect other players' time, this is when I recommend using season pass items for blue farming. When using the season pass for blue farming, always collect an item in your lowest power slot for maximum results. Another tip is if you can choose a reward source that hits the medium cap, do that first. This will reduce wasted drops. If a tier 2 reward will get you to the medium cap of 1250, don't do a tier 1. Do a tier 2 or 3. That way you aren't wasting time with almost perfect 1249 drops. And when you go up a BPL, all those tier 1 drops will now be 1250, helping you break into the pinnacle cap. This can be expanded further with pinnacle drops. If you're at 1247 BPL or higher, I recommend doing pinnacles. This will still drop at 1252 because it is a plus 5 pinnacle drop. It doesn't become plus 2s immediately. After having 4 pinnacles in different slots, make sure to get 1250 in the rest of the slots with low tier rewards. Turning in your rank 1 premium season package could help you here. This should be the quickest way to hit 1251 using the least amount of drops. It's probably best to keep your rank 1 package for 1251 BPL. There are usually powerful, temporary seasonal rewards added. This provides additional powerfuls on a weekly basis. This can be in the form of weekly quest, weekly rank ups, or seasonal engrams. There are also holiday events that can offer exclusive powerful rewards. These happen about once a season. Another big trick is learning loot tables and targeting slots. Raids, dungeons, and even packages have a loot table. This means there are odds to getting specific item slots. If you needed a pinnacle weapon, you wouldn't do Pit of Heresy because it only drops armor. If you need a helmet, you'd want to do the Garden of Salvation raid boss checkpoint and not the other checkpoints. Try and increase your odds and efficiency by learning what type of drops are offered from each source. Seeing that this is a major expansion, you will likely have to wait and learn what the new loot tables are for powerful drops before this can help you. So this will be more help at the end of the first and second weeks. The Prophecy Dungeon will be temporarily unavailable, but learning that loot table can also help in the future. Focusing Engrams is a good example of this if they bring it back. Every month there will be an Iron Banner. This is a good source for pinnacle drops. Typically, it requires you to do the questline on each character so you can unlock armor drops from these pinnacle bounties. But last time, they just brought out reskins you could get without the questline. If the questline is required to get armor, you can limit your drop types. Since pinnacle heavy weapons are rare drops, some players do not complete the questline on one character. This will force you to get only weapon drops on that character, increasing your chances at a heavy weapon. You can also duplicate these bounties through a specific lengthy process, tripling the amount of pinnacle rewards you can get each Iron Banner. More on that in a video in the description. That particular lengthy method can exploit any bounties in the game. It turns out seasonal content is the least protected, powerful reward type. Most everything in the game is class restricted, meaning once you get a reward on a warlock, you could not have a second warlock character get the same powerful reward. That is why turning in multiple flashpoints does not work. Even though it shows powerful rewards visually, it will actually become a garbage power drop. This is to discourage players running 3 of the same class of Guardian, which would have made power leveling easy. In this system, they are flawed. All seasonal and holiday quests are character bound and character locked, not class locked. If you want to farm unlimited seasonal currency like Twisted Energy, just complete the bounties. Delete that character and make a new one. Then complete those bounties again. Turn in all of that twisted energy for a rank up, then farm unlimited powerful rewards in a week. Since they are changing the character's introductory mission, this could be really quick to make new characters or really long. Creating a new character doesn't limit you to bounties though. This allows you to do weekly powerfuls like means to an end. Also Halloween powerfuls, Christmas powerfuls. You could rack up some decent rewards by recycling characters. It's just a lot of extra effort that is usually not necessary. But if you only run one character naturally, create 2 more of the same class and take advantage of these extra drops. Having 3 hunters is better than just 1. This is also the main way players use to bypass weekly lockouts for ranking up seasonal vendors, being world's first weeks ahead of time. Now let's talk about one-time powerful drops. These are things like clan engrams, gambit and valor major rank ups, as well as glory sub rank ups. These can be acquired once on any character, meaning you should get these drops on your favorite character since you want them to be the highest. There is also a once per season powerful engram. You can get this loot by logging into Bungie.net and then going to Bungie rewards. Claim the engram in the list. After that, when you change characters or relaunch Destiny, you will see the engram at the postmaster. This is a tier 1 powerful reward that you can collect once on any character. Generally, the first character you level up will be your lowest, and your last character for the week will be your highest. You should always start out the week on your highest character though. If all of your characters are the same, start out with your least favorite character, and then end with your favorite character. When your favorite character hits the medium cap of 1250, use one-time drops on your other characters. Most players do their favorite character last in the week. The raid is coming out midweek in week 2. That's enough to do 2 characters, but usually not 3. So if you make your favorite character second in your order, he should theoretically be the highest character you have for the raid. Day 1 raids are contest mode locked power, and let's be honest, all 3 characters can hit 1230 in week 2. However, the final boss fight is 1250 power. After the initial 24 hours, you can beat it when you are 1250, since contest mode is disabled. So getting the highest power possible is still recommended, especially since weapons will do more damage to enemies up to 1260 in this raid. So if you're actually planning on a Monday raid, you should start on your favorite character first so that he ends up the highest power at the end of week 2. Gambit Reputation offers powerfuls for major rank ups and resets. Powerful rewards for rank ups stop after the first Gambit reset, but every full Gambit reset after that will still give you powerful rewards if you wanted, just not major rank ups. It's hardly worth it though. This works the same as PvP Valor. This is reputation for non-competitive matches. Every major rank up until your first reset gives powerful rewards. After that, it's only full resets giving powerfuls. Competitive PvP is different. Every sub-rank of glory gives you powerful rewards. You get a new sub-rank every other win. This is a crazy fast source to level up. Using the freelance survival playlist option allows even bad players a chance to win. Up to 2100 reputation, you hardly subtract any reputation for losses, meaning you don't even need to win half of your games to keep getting powerful rewards. Of course, you should try your best not to die in this mode. I do not recommend you play this mode for powerful rewards after 2100 reputation though. Everything slows down at that point. There's also another bonus to playing this mode. You get Valor reputation as well as Glory reputation, meaning you get powerfuls on sub-rank ups and powerfuls on Valor major rank ups at the same time just playing survival. This stacks with your win streak, so consider doing the Rotator playlist milestone for a win streak, then doing survival matches to complete the core playlist milestone and get both reputation rewards at the same time. That win streak will get you more Valor rep bonus while in freelance survival. Not to mention an additional chance at powerful rewards is introduced for playlists next season. That's 4 potential drops of powerfuls at the same time. Now let's focus more on the artifact. XP will level up your artifact bonus power. The first 10 power is pretty easy to get, after that it gets pretty ridiculous, making it a really slow way to level. But it's the only way to grind power after pinnacles every week. Clearly, you're hoarding bounties and taking this seriously because you're still here. The artifact has nothing to do with drops, but is an optional leveling path. The most boring, in fact. The main progression is bounties. Frankly, any milestones, kills, and activities you complete will give you XP, but you make the most of it by rapidly completing bounties. A huge tip is to do the seasonal missions first. You want to unlock your artifact before you turn in any bounties. That way, your XP is applied to it for mod unlocks. This only has to be done once per account at the start of the season. Note, you probably want to do a PvP and Gambit match before turning in bounties to make sure the reputation correctly applies to this season. Not sure if that's still a bug. Then you want to focus on bounties that can be completed on your current activity first. So if you are doing the strikes milestones, pick up strike bounties, including the 5 repeatables. And when you get those done, go and pick up more. Over and over. While doing this, also bring gunsmith bounties and repeatables. When you get the repeatables done, get more. These can be done at the same time, giving you free XP by just using specific weapons and elements. You can also do the seasonal bounties passively. Try and keep up and work on as many of these bounties at all times for maximum XP. You can also pick up the bounties on each destination from the planetary vendors. When you get a strike on that planet, some of those bounties can be completed, although that usually wastes a lot of load time. A good way to farm straight XP is grabbing all these bounties that work everywhere, plus Eris bounties, and farming Altars of Sorrow. There are so many enemies that bounties will be completed quickly, then fast travel to Eris and back for more as long as you want. You will run out of Glimmer eventually, so visit the spider and buy Glimmer with the 1,000 materials that you have prepared. Now we can talk about XP bonuses. There are several XP bonuses in the game. This gives you more XP for practically no reason. The main thing is to equip a ghost with XP mods. This will give you 10 or even more % bonus XP for everything. Never take it off. There's one better buff that you can use that can no longer be acquired. Mote of Light consumables increase your XP by 25%, but do not stack with ghosts. Everything else stacks. Well Rested gives double XP for 5 season ranks every season. Premium Track gives 20% bonus XP when you collect the rank 1 armor set on your first character. The Premium Season Pass passively adds more XP bonuses as you progress the ranks, as well as adding a Fireteam XP booster, which has more of an XP bonus as you progress the Season Pass, meaning you should join just one other player before turning in bounties. Go to a destination and wait for Shared Wisdom to appear in your character buffs menu before turning in any bounties. The higher they are in the Season Pass, the more XP bonus you will get, making bounty farming with friends somewhat profitable. Grabbing bounties wastes a lot of time, so consider moving Destiny 2 to a solid state hard drive. This is proven to make the game load faster on consoles and PCs alike. High-end PCs have an advantage over consoles in the area of load times, and time is potential power level. Cross-saving to PC can help your load times, and you can still use your favorite controllers on PC. The next-gen consoles can also be a good move, and you get to keep your friends list. After all of this, we still haven't really talked much about 3-character leveling. Now we will talk about tricks to power up alternate characters. This is important because your alternate characters will get more powerful weapons, and those weapons will go back to your other characters, making every character stronger. Meaning weapons are the best drops you can get, as long as you don't keep getting weapons over and over. Looking at you, Garden of Salvation. This allows you to continue powering up characters even when they are out of all powerful drops. Don't do any pinnacle rewards on your characters if you have time to reach 1250 on any one character. Since pinnacle sources are limited, You will get more benefit by not doing them until after your character reaches the medium cap of 1250, and I'll explain why. You want to boost your other characters with your main, then your other character's weapons will boost your main. Blue farm to level it out, then do pinnacles starting with your highest character. When you finish each character, you can give your alternate characters a head start. You want to go to Zur on your highest power character on the weekend, then buy his exotics for the other two classes of guardians. So if you are a hunter, buy the Warlock and Titan exotics he offers. This will be a significant boost to your guardians in the armor area. This is the only way to boost their armor power directly. Do that every week of this season, and you can manage multiple characters with minimal effort. Just infuse them into legendaries. You will want 1250 power weapons. Before you switch characters, make sure each weapon slot is at least at your current character's BPL. If it's even one lower, make sure to blue farm for that slot. Each single power makes a difference when powering up a fresh character for the week. This should be repeated between each character switch. If you manage to make 1250 on your third character without using pinnacles on either of your previous characters, you will have the biggest advantage. As long as you have all three weapon slots at 1249 BPL, you can blue farm every character all the way to 1247 BPL, allowing you to break into pinnacles for maximum power. This is, however, a gamble. This requires you to have average RNG on drops, and you have the time to commit doing pinnacles on all three characters at the end of the week rather than progressively. An important note is that powerful rewards are locked per class. Say you have 3 hunter characters, you get the Nightfall milestone. If you do the same milestone on your second hunter, it will not be a powerful reward. Now you are ready to focus on your alternate characters, or are you? This is where 10k material turn-ins come into play. Your weapons are way higher than your current armor, so we have to level it out with blue farming. Use your Vanguard or Crucible tokens for minus 20 drops. You probably have thousands and they're the quickest to turn in. Keep using them until your armor won't really go up anymore. This should take a good while. See if Devrim or Failsafe offers decent rewards and then use them. Buy materials from Spider if needed. If your weapons are all 1250, your armor can easily get past 1200 just by turning in materials. When you hit 1247, all Tier 1 powerful drops will drop at 1250, the current medium cap. So that should be the goal. Get a full set of gear at 1250 from powerful rewards on your alternate character. If you're at 1247 or higher, do pinnacles on that character first. If not, do the third character in hopes that you can get better weapons. Repeat this blue farming technique on that character to bring them up. Get them to 1250 or as high as possible and then do your pinnacles. At this point, switch back to your highest power neglected character. These are the ones that ran out of powerful rewards but don't have max armor yet. With these newfound weapons, blue farm on this character to bring their armor up. If they didn't hit medium cap, consider doing one-time powerful drops mentioned previously, like running survival freelance and clan engrams. Then do your pinnacle rewards. If your BPL goes above 1250, you can grab a weapon from the season pass at your BPL if needed for blue farming. Now go back to your lowest character with your new pinnacle weapons. Blue farm, do one-time powerful drops, then do pinnacles. At this point, you're probably done. All of your characters are at the 1250 medium cap. If not, see if you can blue farm again to raise any character's current armor. You should always log into your highest character first at the start of the new week. Do their pinnacles, blue farm with season pass gear or with powerful rewards. In the meantime, grind those bounties for artifact level, and ultimately reach that pinnacle cap or give up because it's too much effort for practically no reason. So I've touched on everything I can think of, but it's not well organized. And you know, topics blend together, so it can't really be organized, especially with the lack of information at this point. So if I was to put all of this information together, this would be the outcome. Log into Destiny. Watch the one moment please loading screen for 20 minutes. Choose my favorite character. Apply an XP perk to my ghost shell. Collect Rank 1 Premium Season Pass bundle for the XP perk and armor. Load into the tower. Pick up Banshee Bounties. Pick up PvP and Gambit if possible. Check my BPL using the Season Pass. See if Lord Shax or Zavala are offering rewards that are higher than my BPL, which is unlikely. Go to Devrim and see if he is offering rewards over my BPL. Pick up his bounties. If either are, spam reward packages until you're 1200 power. Start the seasonal quest line, not the DLC quest line. Part of the seasonal quest line is time gated anyway. Get your artifact. Turn in all but PvP and Gambit bounties. Pick up more PvP and Gambit bounties. Play one match of Valor PvP and Gambit to update season rep. Then turn in PvP and Gambit bounties. Then I would switch focus to the DLC quest line. After completing the DLC quest line, I would grab strike bounties and farm strikes if I'm still below 1200. Otherwise, I would finish the seasonal quest line if I'm missing anything. I would blue farm with strikes or Devrim if applicable. I would do one tier 3 drop, then blue farm, then a few tier 1s, then blue farm, repeating as available. Turning in prime engrams and picking up more bounties at the tower as necessary. Then I would probably use pinnacles like I would tier 3s because I'm low on time. If you have the whole week off, you should save your pinnacles on every character until you've completed all drops and reached 1247 BPL. Bungie services should be working, so I would log into Bungie.net and claim my free powerful engram from Bungie rewards during load times. After all of that was used up, I would farm survival freelance PvP for drops. Also, I would work with my clan to unlock clan engrams. If I was ever close to the next BPL, I would turn in clan engrams instead of tier 1s or blue farming. After hitting 2100 in comp, I would probably farm Valor or Gambit rank ups until I maxed them. And after that, it should probably be Friday, in which you could go for some trials rewards. After that, we want to go to Xur. Buy the exotic armor he is offering for your other class to level them up, for whichever character is next. Now it's time to switch characters. Transfer your highest weapons to them, and the exotic armor piece you just bought for them. Put an XP mod on your ghost shell, go to the tower, pick up Banshee and other bounties, spam tokens at Zavala or Shax until you're above 1200 power. When the armor no longer drops higher than your current armor, that is when you should stop. If planetary vendors drop higher around your BPL, then spam resources at them after you are no longer progressing with Zavala and Shax rewards. Stop when it is no longer helping. Do the DLC and seasonal quest line. If your armor is not close to your BPL, I would do tier 1 powerfuls until it is. If your first character made it more than 1235 BPL, I would save your pinnacles on this second character. If less, you should probably treat pinnacles like tier 3 drops again, not saving the drops to save you time. When your gear is 3 to 4 power around each other, do a tier 3 and blue farm, then tier 1s and blue farm. You're probably near 1245. At this point, do any tier 3 rewards you have. If you don't have any, do tier 1s until you reach 1246. Then do your tier 2 rewards at 1246. This should ensure you get 1250 drops every time. At 1247, do all pinnacles and they will drop at 1252. Note, don't do the 4 weak pinnacles. When you have 4 pinnacle rewards in different slots, blue farm until you get 1250 in each of the other slots. That should bring you to 1251 BPL. At this point, I would use Season Pass rewards from this season and the previous season to target my lowest slots, but only when it brings me to the next power level. And if I ever need multiple armor pieces, I would turn in the rank 1 armor package on my second and third characters. Then do the rest of your pinnacles. After that, buy Xur's exotic armor for your third character, and then repeat the steps I just outlined for your second character on your third. After your third character, buy Xur's exotic for your original character, then blue farm with him and grind playlist activities for bounty XP and a chance at powerfuls. You should now be able to do all of the pinnacles that you didn't complete previously. Finish completing your pinnacles. At the start of next week, do your highest character first, then your second highest, then your third. Get them past 1250 with non-pinnacles and your new weapons if they are not already. Then do the pinnacle grind. Now it's probably the second Monday, and you're ready to conquer the raid over leveled with all 3 characters. If you don't have a lot of time in a week, it's best to skip some blue farming and limit yourself to focusing on just 2 characters instead of splitting your time between all 3. In summary, power leveling is a pain in the butt.
Cheese forever, Guardian!